Hello everyone. Today we're going to be looking at the Kingham station stroke Chipping Norton loop. What you might ask is the Chipping Norton loop. Well, this map I hope gives you some idea of what it is, and I guess the nearest modern thing it resembles is the motorway interchange. So basically the Victorians got there first. Let me describe exactly what's on this image. That's the Oxford, Worcester and Wolverhampton main line going up there, and that is the Banbury and Cheltenham direct railway. Cheltenham's up there, crosses the Oxford Worcester line there, drops down and goes under the Kingham Road bridge off the picture, and then you've got a slip road in modern language, comes off a line and goes down onto the Oxford Worcester line and off to Oxford, and on the other side of the main line you've got a slip road or a branch line coming off and going towards Cheltenham. The squiggly thing there is the River Evenlode. You can see it on the Google Earth map over here, look, winding its way across the fields. And just to give you some sort of direction, Kingham station is down this end. That's the main line going to, it's what's called the Cotswold line now, going towards Worcester. This strange anomaly here is trees. And when we get on site I'll explain why it looks like that. So without further ado, let's head over to Kingham Station. Kingham Station then, opened in 1853, built by the Oxford, Worcester and Wolverhampton Railway Company, and Kingham on its opening was called Chipping Norton Junction. Originally laid as apparently as a broad gauge line, but I'm told that they laid a third rail because they were 99% certain that it was going to end up as a standard gauge line, and ultimately that turned out exactly what it was. So we're going to explore on the right hand side of the track, as you can see through those trees there. Okay, before we move out onto site, I just thought we'd have a quick look as a comparison of Kingham Station. This is taken 70 years ago, 1952, and you can see already it has 4 platforms and double the width iron lattice footbridge, and way over at the back you can see the Banbury and Cheltenham direct railway overbridge, part of the loop. That's a very interesting photograph, that is, and I'm just wondering whether platform 4, as it's closest to the area we'll be exploring, whether that still exists or whether it's been grubbed out. In any case, it'll be hidden in the bushes by now, so I also suspect platform 3 is almost definitely gone. I think that went quite a long time ago. Okay, let's get out on site and have a look round then. So there's the Kingham Road Bridge. That's the start of the adventure. This is Trigmore Wood, owned by the Woodland Trust, and this used to be a railway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to venture down here. If we go back onto the Chipping Norton loop map, this would be the branch that went down onto the main line and onto Oxford. Now, you remember me mentioning the odd looking trees on the Google Earth map of this site? Well, there is a good reason for that. Is because it's not natural woodland, it's all planted. And I know that because it was me that planted it all. You look through here, it's difficult to see right now with all these trees the size they are, but it was all planted, of course, in straight lines. This is going back to about 1972, and this piece of land, I don't know whether it belonged to the Lynchbury family of Kingham and they kind of lent it to the railway to put this loop in, or whether Mr. Lynchbury that lived in the bungalow just up the road actually bought it off the railway. But in any case, he used to come down here periodically when I'd planted it and do a little bit of maintenance work, etc. And the Lynchburys, of course, a well-known family in this area. They used to manufacture agricultural machinery, things like threshing machines, ploughs, etc. They're very well known. Mr. and Mrs. Lynchbury, who owned the bungalow, as I say, up the road, very nice couple, and it was really nice to come over here and do the work for them. So we'll carry on down here, and then, as I say, this is the branch off the loop that would have gone onto the main line and gone on towards Oxford. And you can see the path stroke old line starting to bear round to the left in the direction of Oxford, and we're now pretty close to the modern Kingham station. So it might be blocked off here. I'll just have another look. So the line would have run off down through there and picked up the main line a few hundred yards farther on. I've come across this very interesting structure. Not quite sure what that is. There's a round window at the far end. It's not close enough to the railway for a signal box. I'm going to have a look on the various books and stuff I've got to try and find out exactly what that is. There's a doorway. You see it over that wall, you can just about make out a doorway. All done in blue engineering brick. That's an interesting one. And just coming up now onto the Cotswold line. Station's round to that way. And we'll carry on in the direction of Norton the Barsh, or north, up this path, and see if we can find the brickwork for the loop bridge. And if you look across the tracks, there's the brickwork and the buttress for the bridge for the Chipping Norton loop. That side it would have been coming from Cheltenham. That's in good condition. And I just swing round to my right, and there's the matching brickwork and buttresses for the right hand side, Chipping Norton on the Banbury side. So that's fairly well intact. And left a bit of the embankment in front, and I'm now going to try and get up behind that wall and see if we can look over the top. I'm standing on part of the embankment that departed at the back of that brick wall, and as you can see, it's getting to the actual back of the wall and onto the top of it is pretty much a no-no, fortunately. Indeed, they might have dug it all out. That's absolutely packed with thorn bushes, and I don't think I'm going to get through there, so we'll go back and have a look at the wall on this side from the front. And you can see back at the front again, you can see a very nice winged buttress on the round side of the wall. I suspect there's one on the other side, but how well it's revealed, I don't know. You can get a little bit closer. Yeah, it's that one's set back a bit. I don't know if you can see that, set back in the thorn bushes a bit. And now a close up of the left one. There we are. All blue engineering brick with nice capping stones. And now swing across. You can see that one. And that's actually on quite a skew. And if you want to know what went on the other side of that bridge, I can recommend my friend and namesake Ron's Parkinson Walks videos. Ron's done some extensive adventuring up in this part of the world on the railways. He's very knowledgeable, and he produces some cracking adventure videos on the railways. Parkinson's Walks, highly recommended. Give it a try. And the right hand buttress wall, there's lots of few cappers, a few topping stones. It's a shame. I'm pleased that this infrastructure is still here though. A lot of it gets totally destroyed. I've just come up to the top end of the wood nearer the station. Basically I'm looking for platform 4. I can see platform 2, but I think they've probably demolished platforms 3 and 4. Certainly can't see. I can see the platform 2 through the trees, but this side I can only see brushwood. I think they've demolished it. That's a shame. And if you look through the trees just there, you'll see a retaining wall. Difficult to pick out. Very large concrete post and strut there, and that retaining wall marks the inside edge of the branch line to Oxford. Goes round in a quite a tight curve actually. So that's the railway would have been between me and that wall. So the retaining wall's still there. Not in very good condition, but it's still there. Well, that's good. And I'm eternally grateful that that blue grid's over the top of that, because that is the square bricks around. That is a deep well, I suspect full of water. You can't see into it, but am I glad that's not left open. Back at the blue brick building then, and I'm just looking over there to those pine trees. They're not original railway pine trees, they're Ron Barrett pine trees. Somewhere in this locality, must be very close by, there was a turntable. I don't remember seeing it when I planted the trees, so I'm suspecting it was filled in when the railway closed in 1962. Long since disappeared, much the same as the fourth platform, I think. I'd certainly never find it over there. It's just a sea of brambles and stinging nettles, so that's a shame, but You'll have to give that one a miss. And what I've also been looking for, because not only did I plant the trees, but I put a fence around the outside, is one of these. That's a signature Ron Barrett post and strut. To move a little bit. There you go, single strut. I used to cut and peel those in our timber yard at Hatherup, out by Fairford, and they'd be transported over here by tractor and trailer, complete with rabbit netting, high tensile steel line wires. Absolutely amazed that that's not rotted off and fallen over. There you go. And just having a general walk through the wood now. I just found this pond. That's not natural. That's I think that was put in by Mr. Lynchbury, the gentleman that looked after the site. I don't remember it being there when we planted the trees, but it could well have been. Handy for the wildlife though, very nice. Across the bridge. Going over the top of some old red bricks, blue bricks there, I don't know what that was. Cast-offs from the railway at some point. And just here, you can see the embankment again, with the Chipping Norton loop. Came over the top, off the bridge, and dropped down onto the Kingham Road bridge. Those single strut fence posts, and that one's still standing as well. Can't believe it after all this time. And walking back up the branch for Oxford. Been a very interesting walk, this one. So I haven't been here ever since I planted all those trees. They've grown pretty well. A few of them have died and fallen over, but on the whole they look pretty happy. And back to the entrance to the wood and the wall of the Kingham Road bridge. That's been very interesting, that walk. And just noticed as I was leaving that they filled the arching of this bridge at lunchtime, so I used to walk under that bridge and up the track towards Chipping Norton. So that's progress for you. And a look over the bridge in the direction of Chipping Norton. Well overgrown. I don't think you'll be walking very far up there anytime soon. Such a shame these old railway lines get like this. Really is a shame.